Hello and welcome. This is Diana, and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be a new moon energy in the sign of Libra. And honestly, it's kind of like a momentum shift in regards to like where you are perpetuating your focus as you proceed forward, right? It's kind of like getting a clear understanding that your environment is what you've been creating. It is not where you're going. And it's a limiting belief or a limiting factor um, that's essentially like kind of clogging the in-between portion from the heart and the throat, right? And so like what is it that you have not been speaking your truth in regards to? Um yeah, they're just saying like it's like you having like stuck energy in regards to truly it's like a fight between, do I stay quiet and still continue to be the observer, or do I voice my honest perspective of what I'm currently seeing in reality, in work, in life? It's the, is this true? Is this true? Is this happy? Is this for the highest and best good of all involved? Right? And there could be reassurance that needs to take place in regards to like your higher chakra systems, or the it's like that clarity of working with the energies that are unfolding currently, right? Like the where we're at right now, in placements, in frequency, in like, because you have to think, right? There is controlled opposition in any energetic frequency. And I think that there is a clear understanding and a clear divide of what is for you, not for you, for the highest good of the collective consciousness, right? It's like, it's the frequency of that new moon energy. Mm, is not only deepening the, because the veil is thin, right? The dissemination into Scorpio has already begun. And the what you can see and the what you cannot see, and the manipulation of your energy, your energetic frequency, of your thought forms, of the how you move in the world. Like what is your divine purpose? Like what is your vibrational frequency of alignment look like for you, right? And so many people tend to push on us their assumptions of what we can do, and in actuality those vibrations are just an impediment of what they didn't do in their lifetime, right? And so that's where you, when you're dealing with like family, or uh somebody of importance, right? You have to understand that they're looking at it from a frequency of their own knowledge and perception. And as you dig and as you start stepping into like, what is your truth? What is your dream? Like, what is the thing that is causing you emptiness, and what is the thing that is filling up your cup, bringing you the abundance, right? Bringing you the thing that you truly love. And honestly, like it's one of those things that you can move in the world and not even realize that you're doing it from a state of being that is somebody else's dream, hope, wish, desire. Like you can be in such codependency that maybe you don't even realize this isn't even my dream, right? You hear about that all the time. People going off and fulfilling a dream, a wish, a hope, a desire, and then not even realizing that it was something I never even really wanted. Like I was fulfilling their vision, their joy, like what they wanted. And at a certain point, hey, it's great. If somebody who has more life experiences is guiding you towards a state of being where you believe that that is for your highest and best good, then, be the cooperative party, right? You don't have to go against the grain or go against the what another person is saying is the reality that you um yeah, it's that intensity, it's the forcefulness, right? It's the mm, what is bringing, what is taking away your joy or making you look outside of your own possibilities. Like, what is that conditioning, right? Like, are you in limitation and lack? Do you not want to share with somebody? Like, um are you believing somebody else is going to take from you because all you've had the pleasure of dealing with is takers, right? And it's that understanding through your vibrational frequency of alignment, right? Like how okay, if the Akashic flips out, that's fine, I'll take it, but it could stay in there. But it's kind of like that, like, what is your good news? Like, what are the things that are interesting you? What are the things that are pulling you into your happiness? Like, in all honesty, like, yeah, we have to work, but in the same regards, like, you're a magical motherfucker, right? Like, you carry a magnetism and a light with you. And when you're not emanating from a lower vibrational state of being, or you're not around, like, and here's the thing, right? Is to say that you're around these people with lower vibrations or with entity attachments as you're clearing and renewing, like, more people are coming to you out of the woodworks with their entity attachments, right? And that gets overwhelming and exhausting also. And maybe that's something that you have been contemplating in regards to your subconscious, like trusting in the process. Um, Also with childlike awe and wonder. Like, it's not holding on to the karmic justice, but understanding that God's divine wrath is rippling through the collective, and there are consequences with how, oh, they're just saying this is like the core wound of the Libra energy is like that people are doing darkness and doing evil, and there are vibrational frequencies trying to shift the reality and the consciousness of the collective consciousness, right? And it can be very overwhelming and uncertain in regards to your role to the bigger plan or the bigger why, right? Or the bigger how. And it's one of those things that, like, you, through self-discipline, through the separation of understanding, does this energy belong to me, or does this energy belong to outside of me? And if it's outside of me, what are they attempting to manipulate and control within me, right? And through the solar, like, you guys got to get out in the sun. I can't say it enough. Even though they're trying to manipulate with technology, in the air, in the atmosphere, right? Like, understand that you are divine beings that are greatly connected to the Creator. So as you go out into the light, as you go out into the sun, ask for those divine updates. Ask for God to move within you. Ask that doors that have been shut or anchored closed, slam open, right? That, like, God remove all blocks and boundaries and all contracts that have been impeding your energetic field. And it's like, through they're saying it's like a steadfast, through your steadfast of a higher timeline, you kept seeing through the illusion of that people were casting on you. I'm getting a lot of spell casting. I'm getting a lot of, like, manipulation of energy, right? And it's through the understanding that you are the divine yoni. You are the vessel. You are the chalice of the divine, right? And like, as you hold on to your vision of what God gave for you, right? A determination and a steadfast is going to come out of your energetic field. It's kind of like Abraham Hicks uses the analogy of standing on top of a hill in San Francisco and being in front of the car, right? And if you slightly push the car, like, you're going to get ran over. But if you're behind it, like, then you're essentially allowing the momentum to take place, and then it's clearing your access point, right? And like, through that success, through that identification of like the falsities that the enemy's been using against you, right? The thought forms, the vibrational frequency impediments, the tactical things that they've been doing in the etheric realm, right? These things are all coming into a head and are reflecting, because what's happening is those that are the gatekeepers, those that are the activated archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, that have soul fragments of angelic origin, right? It's like the soul fragment itself at the very core. When you go back and go back and go back and go back, it is actually angelic. So you may feel your wings flutter. You may feel like all of a sudden an opening in your chest area, right? You may want to like pull your wings back, like pinch your shoulders and then pull them forward, right? So that your energetic frequency is like kind of shifting. And because again, the physical is a reflection of what's happening in the etheric. If your ka body has been impacted or impeded, if your etheric body or your mental body has been bound and impeded, like, you're going to see those reflections in your reality. Your reality is going to be bumpy. And so it's really like, how are you hosing your thought patterns completely out of your reality, right? When these old anxieties, fears, misconceptions, impediments, right? Like, because here's the thing, and I'm going to say this for anybody who has dealt with spiritual manipulation, where your mind has essentially taken over the gamut of that energy, right? And if you have pain in your shoulder, just identify and see it. And if you've been having issues in your solar plex in regards to the way that you've been manifesting or showing up in the world, like, understand that those goals, those impediments, those understandings are to get you into alignment, into your inner strength, right? And every time that the enemy says, oh, you should just sit down and meditate and don't do anything, that's literally your ego and the entities that are attached to you, attempting to keep you into an old position, right? Because it wants you to stay stuck. It wants you to not be in your power. It wants you to play limited and to isolate. And it's literally like shifting and identifying and understanding, like, this is the inner Scrooge in me. This is the inner ho-hum in me. This is the nothing ever works out for me. And that's an old story, because those things that have been replaying in your current reality have been programmed to you by your, I don't want to say opposition, right? Because like, the things that our parents program us with are, number one, the things that they can only do within their own state of mind and evolution, right? So you can't really hold somebody who is like, for instance, a life path one. Although, yes, they are here fresh with energy and whatever, whatever. But they're still a brand new baby on the planet, right? They're literally starting their incarnation cycle. They're a one, right? They're at the very beginning of life path. And so they're dreamy. Yeah, that's what they just said. So I don't know, maybe some of you out there have people with ideals that are very dreamy. They don't really have any understanding of what comes at life or what life has entailed. And those things, those things that you have had to live through or have experienced, good, bad, or indifferent, right? They're still your life experiences, and honor the lessons that that person has chosen to incarnate with, right? It's understanding the duality of the nature of like what. Yeah, it's like fighting against the flow. It's not believing that like you can like pull out and have like an energy of a lifetime of like a. They just said it's kind of comparable in regards to planting a seed and saying, "Oh, well, there's no way that this big seed is going to end up turning into this huge, magnificent sequoia," right? Um, there's no way that this little itty bitty thing is going to be one of the largest things on the planet, right? And that may also have a relevancy in regards to infrastructure or in regards to vibrational frequency of alignment through a neural network. I don't know. That's for somebody out there. Um, but there's going to be some kind of a simultaneously another gateway that is going to bring in a birth, um, possibly of rainbows. But the big thing is recognition through maturity, cooperativeness. Where can you uh be halfway, uh, be in a state of in between, where you are not holding judgment, where you're just in a place of allowance, right? And Gemini could be very prominent in your energetic field, whether it is a mother, father, or a counterpart. And I don't know, but there's something in regards to a 6 month cycle, that is coming to a close. Whether or not it was a working through, consequences, some kind of a abundance consequence, and in between, maybe somebody put an impediment or a block on something, or somebody was like waiting for a trust to clear in 6 months. I don't know. It's something like that. Yeah, it's something having to do with the sun. Could also be a Leo energy. You could have Leo in your North Node. Um, but they're also stating like that they're saying somebody's thinking that there is going to be a barrier or there's some kind of a resistance that you're going to be encountering, or it's I see a very stern woman here. Um, and I don't know why that is, but they're just kind of it's a psychic thing they just said. Um, yeah, there's some kind of a divine partnership balance, like a yin yang uh, polarity that's kind of rebalancing right now. The looking at the ancient wounds and the old chains that have been kind of keeping one isolated and oppressed, right? And then also looking at there's something in regards to what's that story? It is the story of, is it a fiddler? So what it is it's a guy that plays a flute, right? And essentially all the rats follow him. Uh, what it is he actually comes into the town with the rats, right? They're literally following him through the countryside, and so he collects all the rats, and then as he goes through town, he sends them into the town. They create all this craziness, and then he comes in and says, "Oh, well, I am the one who can alleviate your problems. I have this amazing flute, and this flute allows me to talk to the rats. I have the key, right? But in actuality, he's the one causing the damn problem." So there's some kind of a misgiving or a balancing of the scale of the impediment of like who's been impeding, the why they've been impeding, the why they've been trying to keep the divine feminine energy from accessing this portal of power. It's of access point. It's truly the gateway to allow the rainbow, the intellect of the divine child to come in, right? And you're not going to see this coming. Like whatever is, yeah, it's literally it's divine justice is what they're saying. And like it's hard when you can see behind the veil, but then there's not a shift. And they just said it ends with the beginning. You are going to be defensive whenever this does come in, because it's literally going to ask you why now. And I don't know if this is like, again, it could be a past life person or a past life energetic frequency that's keeping you, again, it's that manipulation of energy. Like you are going to understand the why people, places, things have been impeding the way that they have. And they're just going back to like trust the process, like trust the plan. If God's giving you a vision of where you're supposed to be, of how you're supposed to move in the world, don't deviate off of plan. Like don't allow yourself to be in a state of toxicity, in impediment of old wounds. It's like through the balancing of your own scale, you're opening up to this process of understanding that you are not going to have to defend yourself. Like for the feminines there, like that have had to do a lot on your own, understand, and you may feel a little bit of like a warmness in your solar plex. I'm just removing if there is any stuck energy in your field. Again, it's you understanding that yes, for a period of time you had to walk the journey alone. And for those of you that have had to do it for a majority of your life, like, I mean, I'm 48, I'll be 48, and I've never been married. And understand like that journey is a journey of removing illusion. It is a journey to come into an empowerment of self. It is a journey to say, how can I step into my God strength? That I know I walk with the divine creator, the one God, right? I'm not looking through a portal or a pathway for me to have to go through someone. I am just as powerful, if not more powerful, than any person else that claims to have a divine connection with the creator, right? And it's like through these chain breaking actions, through this overcoming of conditioning, and through this internal independence of self, like you're understanding, like I don't have to do it alone. I'm not doing it alone. I am walking with divine intervention, right? And what I've started to realize, and what has been kind of pushed onto me from people in my circle, is the way that you're communicating to spirit, the way that you're communicating to your team, the way you're asking for divine intervention, right? And like doing it in a way that is it's ominous, it's respectful, it is an acknowledgement that you are one and the same, right? Because we all, in the end, come from the infinite creator. But if our God center has not been activated, if our spark of creation has not been activated within our soul center, because we happen to pick a traumatic family to be involved in, or a lot of crappy environments or extensions, it's like those old stories and old impediments are completely dissolved. Like they're no longer active, and it's for you to know that you are supremely, divinely protected. And there's some kind of male energy that is going to come in that's going to allow you to truly walk around and not have to worry about security, but focus on your energetic mystery, if that makes sense. I don't know. There's something in that for you. Yeah, clear, cancel, release, and allow the dharma that needs to come. And understand like your energetic frequency and your vibrational like life path is your energetic set point, right? I love Kuan Yin. Love Kuan Yin. So caring, compassion, choose to be loved, and do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. And then take a step back, right? Allow the energy to be displaced as it needs to be, and allow people to show you who they are. Because in the end, it's up to them whether or not they want to heal. But it's also a they just said it's an infinite power to hold space and allow another person. Oh, so I'm going to leave you with this, right? When you look into the center of somebody's eyes, you literally activate and click in with their soul, right? And whoever is the highest soul in the room is going to be the one that is dropping the anchor. So people can think that they are more evolved or that they are higher on the life path, right? But it only happens if you are a life path 33, you are on the highest timeline. You have the most lessons to shift and clear, cancel, release, and disconnect from. Writing those contracts is cleared to activate the collective consciousness. We are walking towers, right? Your energy signature and your signal is your positivity. If you are pushing out vibrations of a lower density, like start asking yourself, does this belong to me? Who does it belong to? Why is it attempting to get into my field? What do I need to see? What do I need to relay? What do I need to release? Right? And like through that process, you're going to shift simultaneously, like the not feeling protected, the not feeling safe. If you're being impeded at night, right, where you feel like somebody's having sex with you, but you're in a room alone, or you wake up and you have scratches and bruises all over your body, and you're like, what the hell happens? I feel like I went through battle, but you can't remember your dreams, right? Um, or you like you could be cool and then you go out to an event and then all of a sudden you can't even bend your knee, right? Or your back hurts, or like you have body aches and you're like, what the hell is happening? Like, why is this happening to me? And it's literally asking, you have to go through and, honestly, like hit your knees, put your armor of God on. There are tools that are given through the understanding that at a certain point it's not a misconception of like religion, it's a conception of energy frequency. What is the highest vibration on the planet, right? God is the highest vibration. Knowingly, unknowingly, whether you believe it or you not, like we are walking energetic frequencies. And the minute that you start diving into like what is like truly, truly meant and how do you overcome, um, there's going to be some kind of a commitment in building like the power of the who you are, of the what you're, because here's the thing, right? Every single 33, there is a teacher lying dormant within you. You literally have an energetic frequency that is meant to teach here. You're meant to bring your desires, however they look like for you, into the reality, right? And so if you're not playing, if you're not learning what you love, if you're not exploring like what it is to implement into the collective consciousness, right? Because yeah, you can do a lot from your home, but it's really like through the eyes. It's really through the energies. It's really through like standing in front of somebody, right? And through those codes, through those activations, something immaculate and grounding and exploratory happen as you're pushing forward, right? And as you're helping transform like your little area of where you are, and through those activations and through those energetic shifts, like your tower is like going to transform the area where you live. That's why they say, like, when you go out into the world, like, how are you showing up as the best version of yourself? You're not going to have every day where you're amazing and where you're happy and where you're excited. But I tell you what, if you can do that like 70% of the time, 70% will turn into 80, and then 80 will turn into 90. And then, oh, damn, all of a sudden, like you're living in the highest possible timeline that you can be a part of, right? And then all of a sudden the collective consciousness around you is completely shifting. And that goes for anywhere you are on the world. Anywhere a 33 is, you have the ability to shift the vibrational frequency of the planet that you live in, right? All you have to do is unlock those codes. All you have to do is unlock that vibrational frequency where you need to be in alignment, right? Um, I'm going to leave that there. I hope something for this new moon resonated with you. I hope that you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. I really hope that this volume and this mic isn't too staticky. I've gone through like 5 mics. It's really annoying. But again, energy is fluid, and so I just like to apparently have a bunch of mics. If you would like a reading, a healing, or a clearing, I do have spots available. You're welcome to email me directly, or you can just sign up for something in the comments. Please keep in mind, if you want a reading, those are recorded. If you want a healing, those are live. So we would need to set up a time to do those. I hope that you got some information, that you go out into the world and you spread your light, and you continue to fight against the controlled opposition that is pretending to be something that they are not, right? Those that have sold their soul have in fact sold their soul. There's no going backwards. Um, yeah. Until next time, be well. Ciao.